Louis Vuitton Takashi Murakami 20th Anniversary Collection Drop 1, the multicolor line, has already happened. Next, we're going to be having a drop of the cherry blossoms and the cherries, also called Cerisis, and that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So hopefully the next few drops aren't as big of a disaster as the first drop, because the multicolor line drop was in shambles. Orders were being cancelled. There was no stock available. Unless you were like a super VIC or a super famous TikTok influencer, no one else was really getting their items. So you know what that means? If you want one of the cherry blossoms or the Cerisis pieces, go to the pre-love market now before the prices skyrocket even further. So I already showed you my favorite picks of the vintage Louis Vuitton Takashi Murakami multicolor lines as compared to the new collection, and I'll link that video here. And we're going to be doing the same thing today, but for the cherry blossoms and the Cerisis collection. So in today's video, we'll be looking at the leaked photos of both of those collections. Now they're going to be really blurry, so I'll give you the heads up. We'll go through the main differences between the original collection and the 2025 re-edition collection. And then I'm going to be showing you some of the original Takashi Murakami cherry blossoms and Cerisis collections, which are about to be relaunched in the 2025 collection. And then we'll be looking at SLGs from the original collection, which are about to be relaunched in the 2025 cherry blossoms and Cerisis collection. And keeping in theme with the Cerisis, I'm wearing my new cherries dress. This is my way of joining the micro trend on a budget, because I'm not really a cherries or cherry blossom handbag kind of girl. So let's start with the leaked photos of the cherry blossom collection. Now guys, just a heads up, these leaked photos are very blurry and we do not yet have prices. So that means that the quality of the photos you'll be seeing are not going to be very good. We're not going to be able to see much detail, but we'll do our best with what we've got. So you can see they're relaunching the pink cherry blossom with the brown monogram background, and they're also relaunching the pink cherry blossom. And we have a whole bunch of styles: Capucines Minis, Alma BBs, Neo Noes, Nano Buckets, Papillon, Nice, SLGs, the Ballon, the ever-loving Pochette Accessoires, Speedy 25. Now there's no prices available yet. So my guess is they're going to be priced roughly the same as the multicolor collection. Now they also have leaked photos of some travel pieces and trunks. Now these are going to be very expensive. And they also have some scarves, twillies, and bag charms. So they are going to be pretty popular because bag charms are all the rage at the moment. And they've also got some shoes. Let me know if you're into the shoes. For me, I think the shoes are actually pretty cute. I don't know how wearable they are. I don't know how easy they are to match to outfits, but the shoe is actually quite interesting. Let's look at the photos of the Cerisis collections that are leaked. So again, there's no prices available yet, and the pictures are pretty blurry. So I can see that they've got this trunk, this square trunk. I don't even know how big or small this is. So the trunks are going to be pretty expensive, as the trunks usually are. But then they have more photos that just got leaked. And here we can see a whole range of bags and SLGs. Now, at a first glance, I can see that they've got the typical red cherries on the monogram background, but now there's denim and also this white colorway too. Again, there's no prices and these pictures are really blurry, but we do see some reoccurring styles like Pochette Accessoires, Speedy, Key Pouch. So guys, let me know what you think about these leaked photos of the items that are coming out so far. Which ones are you most excited about? I know a lot of people have been making lots of videos about the leaked photos. For me, I think the Pochette Accessoires is definitely very wearable compared to other bags for all the collections. The Pochette Accessoires really survived from the original collection all the way to now, and it's always been a staple of the house. So I think if you want a safe bet, Pochette Accessoires. So let's just go over some key differences between the original collection of the early 2000s and this 2025 relaunch or re-edition collection. So starting with the Cherry Blossoms collection, from the original collection, two main styles seem to be relaunched in the new 2025 collection, and that's the Pochette Accessoires and the Papillon. Most of all the styles in the 2025 collection do seem to be new and unique to the new collection. Now, in terms of colorway, the original collection actually had 3 colorways. We had the brown monogram canvas with the pink cherry blossom flowers. Then we had the pink monogram canvas with the pink cherry blossom flowers. And lastly, we had this yellow monogram print over this sort of white canvas, and that had red flowers. Now in the new collection, in the leaked photos, what I can see so far is, yes, they are relaunching the monogram brown canvas with the pink flowers. And yes, they are relaunching the pink colorway. However, they have seemed to have changed the background. So instead of being a pink monogram canvas, it just seems to be plain pink. It's a bit hard to tell with these photos. And there has been no mention at all of the yellow monogram with the white background with the red cherry blossoms. So whether or not that's been cancelled for this relaunch or just not yet announced, I have no idea if it's coming back or not. But so far, it seems as though there's only 2 colorways instead of 3 for the 2025 relaunch Cherry Blossom collection. So the Cerisis collection from 2005 does seem to have some key differences to the 2025 relaunch collection. So from the original collection, the 3 main styles that seem to be re-released in 2025 are the Pochette Accessoires, the Speedy, and the Key Pouch. Otherwise, most of the collection seem new and unique to the relaunch. Now for the colorway, in the original Cerisis collection, there was just one colorway, and it was monogram canvas with red cherries. Sometimes it would be single cherries spread around everywhere, or sometimes it would just be a single set of cherries, or pairs of cherries scattered around. Now for the new collection, so far we've seen leaked photos of 3 colorways. So they are releasing the original red cherries laid over the brown monogram canvas, but now they've also added a denim monogram with red cherries, and there also seems to be this one with a white background, but I can't tell if it's plain white or white monogram because it's so blurry, again with the red cherries. So what do you guys think of the differences between the new 2025 relaunch versus the original collection? Now the original collection for the Cherry Blossom started in 2003, and for the Cerisis collection started in 2005. So there was about a 2-year gap between when the original Cherry Blossoms was launched versus when the original Cerisis collection was launched. But what do you think about these differences in the colorways that we can see, and some differences in like the backgrounds? So for me, I love the amount of variety that they offered in the original Cherry Blossoms, but it seems like they've kind of flipped the script and have so far leaked photos of less variety with the Cherry Blossoms, but then they amped up the variety with the Cerisis collection. So maybe they're thinking cherries are going to be more popular this time around compared to Cherry Blossoms, and they've invested more into the designs of the cherries. Let me know what you think of my theory. What's your theory? Okay, so now let's go over some of the original bags versus their corresponding relaunch bags. So I'm going to be showing you 4 different bags, starting with the Pochette Accessoires. So in the Cherry Blossom collection, the Pochette Accessoires have leaked photos of the monogram with the pink cherry blossoms. The other vintage colorways have no leaked photos. So the pink on pink, and then the white background with the yellow monogram and the red cherry blossoms have no leaked photos. So far, it seems as though the original collection had more color options as compared to the new one, but that's just how it seems. We don't know what's going to be announced in the future. So some upgrades that they've made on the 2025 Pochette Accessoires include a longer shoulder strap. You get a second strap, which is a chain strap, and now there is a bow and a lock. Now the Cerisis version of the Pochette Accessoire also has some differences. So the original one was a monogram with 1 set of red cherries, but the new one seems to be laid over a denim monogram, and there seems to be multiple sets of cherries. Now the pre-love prices for both the Cherry Blossoms and Cerisis original Pochette Accessoires seem to be sitting at about $1,000 to $2,000 at the moment. Now I'm predicting that the new collection is going to be priced at about $2,100, which is the current price of the Takashi Murakami multicolor one. So comparing it to that price point, it seems as though the pre-love prices, they're not too bad. So they're going to be on par with the new release, or maybe even a little bit cheaper. Now guys, if you want to see these original Cherry Blossoms or Cerisis bags in more detail, the person you should be checking out on YouTube is SmilingCats_couture. She is the Takashi Murakami collection queen, both on YouTube and Instagram. She literally has the best Takashi Murakami original collection, the best I've ever seen. So she does unboxings and reviews. So if you want to see anything about more details of the bag, closer ups of the bag, please check out her channel. I'll link her down below. So next bag is the bucket bag. Now, the really interesting thing about this relaunch is the original version was a bucket PM size as a part of the Cerisis collection. But the relaunch 2025 is actually a bucket nano, and instead it's crossed over to the Cherry Blossoms collection. So not only have they slightly changed the size, but they've also crossed over which collection it's going to be a part of. Now, another difference is the type of pochette it comes with. Because the original size was a bucket PM, it came with a pochette that was similar size too, but a little bit bigger than the mini pochette. Whereas the new relaunch is a bucket nano, and its pouch is really small and it looks like it's the same size as the key pouch. Now, the pre-love prices for the Cerisis bucket PM typically range from $2,000 to $3,000. Now, I'm estimating the launch price of the 2025 re-edition bucket nano will be somewhere around $2,400 because that is the price of this current version here on the website. So judging by that, the pre-love price isn't actually too bad. So I think it's going to be on par with what the retail price is for the new version. Now, if you can't get the new version anyway, you might as well go pre-loved. And that's what happens when there's high demand, is that the pre-love versions tend to be on par with retail price of the new version. Now, the next bag is the Speedy. This was originally released as a part of the Cerisis collection in the size 25 and the handheld version, not the bandolier version, because the bandolier version didn't exist yet at that time. Now, it's actually being relaunched in 2025, still as a part of the Cerisis collection, but now it will be in size 20, or it will be a Speedy Soft size 30. Now, some key differences is not just the size difference, but when you compare it to the size 20, the new version actually has bigger cherries in pairs as opposed to single cherries spread out everywhere. It will now have a crossbody strap with a key bell and a bow and a lock. Now, when comparing it to the Speedy Soft size 30, the key differences are the color of the background. So instead of being the brown monogram canvas, it looks like it's going to have a white background, possibly a white monogram, but I really can't see because these pictures are blurry. And they will have bigger cherries in pairs instead of single cherries. There will be a crossbody strap, key bell, bow and lock. So there's also a Speedy Soft in the denim coming out with the red leather trim. So we've got the denim monogram. The cherries again are bigger and in pairs rather than single individual cherries spread out. We've got this strap, and then we have a crossover. So now they're releasing the Speedy 25. Yes, the same size Speedy 25, but this time we're crossing over into the Cherry Blossoms instead of the Cerisis cherries. So that's another exciting one to look out for, and that is one that they didn't have in the original collection because they only had the Cerisis one and not the Cherry Blossom one. So just a reminder, the vintage version will only be handheld, but you can clip a crossbody strap on there if you want. Now, the pre-love prices for the vintage 25 Cerisis collection range typically between $2.5 to $4.5 thousand. Now, I'm predicting that the size 20 is going to be released somewhere about the $2,300 mark because that is the current price of the multicolor nano. So it's probably going to be a bit more expensive than that. And the Speedy Soft in the current multicolor size 30 is priced at $4,500. So I'm predicting that the Speedy Soft Cerisis will also be $4,500. So this puts the vintage one on par with the retail prices of the new collection. Again, when the demand is high, the pre-love prices tend to be on par with retail, even though they're used or vintage bags. Now, the next bag is the Papillon. So this is being relaunched in the brown monogram canvas with the pink cherry blossoms. Now, originally, this was produced in all three colors, as you can see here. So far, the vintage bags have more color options. Now, there are some key differences between the original design and this 2025 re-edition. Firstly, the original one is a single bag, not a set of two. It did come with a top flap, and in the middle of the flap, there is a bow and a lock and a key bell. Now, the new version is actually coming as a set of two. So we've got the big mama papillon and the little baby mini papillon. There is no flap and just a zipper, which is the typical configuration of a Papillon bag anyway. And I don't see any bow, lock, or key bell. So the pre-love prices for the Cherry Blossoms Papillon typically range between $1,000 to $2,000. So I'm estimating that the launch price of the 2025 re-edition Cherry Blossom Papillon will be somewhere around $3,400 because that's the price of this denim Papillon set at the moment. So it seems like these pre-love prices might actually fall below retail of my predicted Papillon price for the new collection. So let's move on to SLGs. Let's talk about the key pouch or the clay pochette, whatever you want to call it. Oh, by the way, guys, if you guys haven't already seen, Louis Vuitton have actually launched 3 new sizes of the key pouch, small, medium, and large. And I made a whole video showing you the pictures and the dimensions and comparing them all. So if you guys didn't know about that, I'm going to leave that video here and you can catch all the details. So this is being relaunched in the 2025 collection as a part of the Cerisis collection, but with the denim background. Now, originally, this was also part of the Cerisis collection, but with the brown monogram background. Now, the new version has a single pair of cherries instead of single cherries spread all over like the original, and there is a denim background instead of a brown monogram canvas. However, in the original Louis Vuitton Takashi Murakami collections, it was also launched as a part of the cherry blossoms. So it has not had any leaked photos in the cherry blossoms for the new collection, but the original one, you can have all 3 colorways of the cherry blossoms in the key pouch. Now the configuration is a little bit different because it does have a vachetta border, but still you have actually 4 different color options to choose from between the cherries and the cherry blossoms. Whereas in the new collections, all I've seen so far is a leaked photo of the denim cerise. Now the pre-love prices aren't very good for this one. So it typically ranges between $400 to $1,000 and I'm predicting the new collection is going to be releasing for about the $445 mark, because that is the price of the multicolor collection one. So in this case, the pre-love prices could actually be going up above retail, which isn't ideal, but sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles when there is hype and there is demand. So guys, let me know, what do you think about the leaked photos of the new cherry blossoms and Cerisis collection? And what do you think the prices are going to be? Because no prices have been released yet. And let me know, what is your opinion on the original collection bags that have corresponding bags that are going to be relaunched? Are you team vintage or are you team new collection? Are you going to be buying pre-loved or are you going to try your luck at getting the brand new one? Hopefully the next launches aren't going to be as big of a disaster as the first multicolor launch, because as I said, orders were getting cancelled. People were not getting proper packaging. Like the influencers were getting like all the good packaging, and then the regular schmegular people, even if you're like a VIC, they were just getting like normal ass packaging. Like you're not paying extra limited edition to get normal ass packaging. No, no, no. So let's see what actually happens with the next drop. And let me know, what do you think of the original brand and what do you think of their pre-love prices? Now, if you guys haven't already seen, I made a whole video about the new Pochette Cles or the new key pouch sizes, all 3 of them, with all the details, prices and comparisons here. And if you guys haven't already seen, I made a video about the crazy rich Asian celebrity that bought Jeffree Star's house and moved in her $700,000 Hermes handbag collection. And I'm going to leave that video here.